If you are someone who has been following our channel beyond lately, then you are familiar that we have been talking about the space program of China more often than ever before. However, despite all the accomplishments, it might come to no surprise that the road was not easy. The scientists and the whole team of the space program in China faced several failures during their pursuits of greatness. So today, we're going to be discussing a topic that has been making headlines in recent years: China's space launch failures. Over the past decade, China has made significant strides in its space program, launching various satellites and even sending its first spacecraft to the dark side of the moon. However, despite these successes, the country has also experienced a number of high-profile failures. Get ready, folks, for in this video, we shall be counting down the top 10 most notable China space launch failures. Starting off at number 10, we have the failure of the Long March 3B rocket in 1996. This rocket was carrying the Intelsat 708 satellite, which was meant to provide communication services to parts of Asia and the Pacific. However, the rocket failed just minutes after launch, resulting in the loss of the satellite. Coming in at number 9, we have the failure of the Long March 2C rocket in 1996. This rocket was carrying the Iridium-33 satellite, which was meant to provide global communication services. This was one of the most crucial moments for the China space program because of its early stages. However, the satellite could not hold up, and due to some technical faults, the satellite broke down just minutes after the launch. Number 8 on our list is the failure of the Long March 3A rocket in 1997. This rocket was carrying the Intelsat 709 satellite, which was meant to provide communication services to parts of Asia and the Pacific. This incident took another satellite down for the country. At number 7, we have the failure of the Long March 3B rocket in 1999. This rocket was carrying the Asia Star satellite, which was meant to provide communication services to parts of Asia. It was meant to help along the continuation of space exploration, but it broke down along the way. Coming in at number 6, we have the failure of the Long March 2D rocket in 2011. This rocket was carrying the Tiantu-1 satellite, which was meant to be used for remote sensing. The rocket, however, failed just some minutes after launch, thus resulting in another satellite loss. Number 5 on our list is the failure of the Long March 4B rocket in 2016. This rocket was carrying the Yaogan 30 remote sensing satellite. This instance took down another satellite along with it. At number 4, we have the failure of the Long March 5 rocket in 2017. This rocket was carrying the Shijian 18 communication satellite, which was meant to provide communication services to parts of Asia. Coming in at number 3, we have the failure of the Long March 3B rocket in 2018. This rocket was carrying the Apstar 6C communication satellite, which was meant to provide communication services to parts of Asia and the Pacific. Number 2 on our list is the failure of the Long March 3B rocket in 2019. This rocket was carrying the Beidou 3 navigation satellite, which was meant to be used for navigation and positioning services. And coming in at the top spot, the number 1 China space launch failure is the failure of the Long March 5Y2 rocket in 2017. This rocket was carrying the Shijian 18 communication satellite, which was meant to provide communication services to parts of Asia. Unfortunately, the rocket fell merely minutes after takeoff, resulting in the failure of the satellite. The reasons for these failures are varied and include issues with the rocket's propulsion systems, software problems, and human error. For example, the Long March 5 rocket failure in 2017 was caused by a problem with the rocket's propulsion system, while the Long March 3-5 rocket failure in 2018 was caused by a software error. Additionally, some experts believe that China's rapid expansion in its space program has led to a lack of proper testing and quality control, contributing to the failures. As you can see, China's space program has experienced a number of high-profile failures over the years. However, it's important to know that these failures are not unique to China and are a typical occurrence in the wide world of space exploration. Despite these setbacks, China continues to make progress in its space program, with plans for manned missions to the moon and even a space station in the works. It's also worth noting that these failures have not dampened the enthusiasm of the Chinese people for their space program. In fact, a recent survey found that more than 90% of Chinese citizens have a positive attitude towards their country's space program. To sum it all up, China's space program has had its share of failures, but that doesn't take away from the impressive achievements the country has made in recent years. As the saying goes, failure is the mother of success, and we can expect China to continue pushing forward in its quest to explore the final frontier. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more interesting and informative videos. See you in the next one. Keep reaching far and beyond.